Hello everyone. So welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to solve another very important lead code SQL problem, which is the employees earning more than their managers. Okay. So this is the very important problem which is asked in the top companies as we can see here. So yeah, now let's move on to the so in this one of the most asked SQL interview question, and in this video we will understand like a few concepts like self join and how to managers are connected to the employees and how to compare the salaries and step by step dry run and so on. Okay, so the problem statement for this question give us one table called the employee. Got it? So in this table here we can see there is some data. Got it? In the column there are four columns, which is the ID, name, salary, and manager ID. Okay, so this is the type of the data. Okay, now let's move on to the example. This is the example. Here we can see this is the employee table. In this employee table, in the ID section, we have some ID like 1, 2, 3, 4, and the name, which is the Joe, Henry, Sam, and Max. And the salary, which is a 70, 80, 60, and 90,000, and the manager ID 3, 4, and none. So now let's understand the column, and this is the ID and name and salary and the manager ID. So understanding the data for the understand the relationship between for example for the Joe manager ID is 3. Okay, Joe manager ID is 3. Got it? Now check the employee with the ID equal to 3. So first we will check the Joe manager ID is 3, and now we will check the manager ID. We will check the employee with the ID equal to 3. So manager ID is 3. Now we will check the employee ID, which is 3. So in the employee ID 3, we have the name of the person, which is Sam, and salary is the 60,000. Got it? So this is the name of the employee and this is the name of the manager. So manager ID is 3, and now we will check the ID which is 3, which is equal which ID contain the name is the Sam. So Sam is the Joe manager, we can say. So Sam is the Joe manager. Okay, so now compare the salary. So Joe's salary is 70,000. Got it? And Sam's salary is the 60,000. So Joe earns more than his manager. So Joe should come in the output. Means that which employee earn more than their manager. So we will simply output those employees. Got it? Let's move on to the another example for the Henry. Henry, okay. Henry ID is manager ID Henry is 4. But for for employee ID, the name of that person is the Max. The manager ID 4. Now we will check in the employee ID. The employee ID, which is the 4, name of the person is the Max, which salary is 90,000. Got it? Now let's compare the salary. So the max salary is the 90,000 and Henry salary, which is the 80,000. So Henry doesn't earn more than his manager. Okay, so Henry will not come into the output. Okay, got it? So the important observation here, now notice something very important here. We are comparing the employees with the other employees from the same table. This is the one of the most important thing that we need to understand here. We are comparing the employees. We are comparing the employees. Got it? With other employees. These are the other employees from the same table. This is the single table, and this is the also the employee. This is also the employee. These are the all are the employee. We are comparing these employee in the same table. So what what you are understanding here that we need here self join, as we know that for the self join. So now so self join self join means the joining the table with itself. Got it? Why? Because the employee are inside the employee table, manager are also inside the same employee table. Okay, these are the employee, but this is the manager which is also in a same table. Got it? Are you getting my point? So we use the same table twice. So that's why we can say that here we are using the self join. Okay. If I take an real life example, like think like this, the employee table contains the student, okay, and class monitors in the same table. So both are inside the same class list. So the comparing them, we are using the same table into two times. So we can say we are using here the self join. That's why. So now let's move on to the query part. Okay. So this is the so first we need to write down the select even dot name as employee. Okay. So we want to employ a name in this output. Using this statement, we want employee name in the output. Now, and second one is the from employee even. First write down the query. Then we will discuss the every line one by one. Employee E2 on even dot manager ID equal to E2 dot ID, where E1 dot salary, E1 dot salary is greater than E2 dot salary. But so this is the query. Now let's dry run this query, and then you can understand it very clearly. So now let's dry run. So first step, what we are write it down here, like select even dot name as employee. Okay, take all employee from the even. Got it? Step 2, from employee even, take all employee. And now let's move on to the this one. This is the join employee E2. So in the join employee E2, create another copy of the same table for the manager. Are you getting my point? Join employee E2 means we are creating the same table for the managers. Okay. Now move on to the this one, this line for, like, we are matching the employee with their managers on even dot manager for table employee even employee manager id equal to e2 dot id. We are comparing the id e2 dot id for the second table, but in first table means that first table for the employee, we are write it down the manager id we are comparing with the this id. This is the, this id for the manager id. Okay. Where we are now simply write down the condition where even dot salary is greater than e2 dot salary. So got it? Here also you can see we need to return that you know employee name which has salary greater than their manager. Got it? So if I'm comparing with this example, like Joe and Sam. So for the Joe, employee salary is the 70,000. Joe salary is 70,000, but manager salary, which is the 60,000. Obviously, this is the less than the Joe salary. So we can say this condition is true, and Joe comes in output. That's why Joe comes here into the output. So explanation, as you can also see, the Joe is the only employee who earns more than his manager. That's why we are returning the Joe. For the another example, Henry versus Max. So Henry salary is 80,000. Okay, manager added this. So this is an employee and Max is the manager. Manager salary is 90,000. But manager salary can't be greater than the Henry salary. That's why the condition is false, and that's why Henry removed from the table. So the final output for our, this is the employee which earn more than their manager, which is the Joe. Okay. So guys, this was the complete explanation of the employee earning more than their managers. Now let's run this query. Okay, accepted. Now let's submit. Yeah, so now you have learned self join, salary comparison, manager relationship, and lots of things in this video. And if this video helped you, then like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel, and comment which SQL problem you want next. So yeah, thank you so much. See you in next video.